Oh, you gonna have to get it. It's gonna go off again. I can already tell.
Can't be.
Y'all, I am
be
sorry. My
serious.
work phone roars like a tiger. On the side, baby, just flip the switch down on the side. What'd you do? You turned it off?
Yeah, is that what you want? Off?
No, but it's okay. It's too late.
Yeah, I'm not used to a phone having a
said
slide.
Just turn it on silent.
You got a brick. That's a brick phone. All right. Let me.
He trying to come for me. Well, my
All
job
right.
is good.
Are we live? This is live? Oh, we live. Oh, okay. Let me make sure. Let me share it to Brittany's page.
What?
Yeah, you gotta let all your friends know. It's going down to Chinatown. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, everybody. Welcome in.
I feel old because I don't know how to tag you. Dang.
See, you was talking about my work phone, and now you struggling. See?
Oh.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Marriage is for Grown Folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing. We appreciate your support.
You better go ahead.
Oh my God, he's so extra, y'all.
You better. Oh, I can tag you. No, I can't. Yes, I can.
We're getting up in age, and so there are some things with technology he does not remember how to do right off, but it's okay, y'all. We are here for you this evening, so if you guys have any questions, comments, please feel free to put them under this live so that we can interact with you guys. This has been something we've been looking forward to doing with you guys for a while, so we're so excited that we're finally getting to do it tonight.
You better be a host tonight. Mark, I am.
Yes.
No, I don't.
So
I ain't gonna, no, I ain't gonna worry
he's
about it. I ain't gonna worry about it.
Fixing everything on his end.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and show you guys the intro, and then we'll be right back.
Let's do it. All right. We ready? Bang. So like she said, this is episode 30. We 30 episodes
I didn't
in.
know that. That's good. Okay.
This is episode 30.
We're gonna check his numbers though to make sure he right, y'all.
No, I think I'm on that. Did you already invite them to share?
I did.
Cool. Tell Lottie Dottie
And everybody.
and everybody. I have a couple disclaimers before we start, but I want to give everybody a moment to get situated. This is Bible study night, so I need to talk to those of you who not at Bible study. Don't watch this while you're at church or nothing.
Yes.
But if you
can see
do,
us after.
if you are busy, catch the replay, tag someone. If you don't want to share it, inbox it to somebody. If you try to share it, they may have been invited to my block party. So,
Ooh. I haven't blocked anybody, so you guys can go to my page to watch it if you would like.
But I can't tag you, so
We'll figure it
shout out
out
to
after.
everyone who's subscribed. I think we're like up to 168, 170 something subscribers. So thank you for all of you who have subscribed. We meet people weekly who are subscribed to the page, and it doesn't show us every name of people who watch. So Facebook will be able to see who watch tonight.
Right.
So thank you. This has been pretty impactful, so they say. We can't gauge the feedback when we do it. We just drop it out. We just put it out.
Yeah.
And just put it where the birds can get it. So evidently, so this has been. You said you met a lady at church Sunday that said she suggests. What did she say? I don't want to mess
She
up what she
sends
said.
people to our page to watch
So the Cash App is up.
the videos.
We're not gonna take an offering tonight, but if you feel led to sow, but really, we just want to be.
We just want to help people.
Yeah, we want to help. We
That's
are
really
pro
our heart.
relationships.
We are.
And it's a lot going on right now, and I think that we need each other.
We do.
So this is not just for married folk, even though it is for grown folks. This is for non-married, single, those of you who are comfortable being single and don't want to be married, or everything in between. Like,
Right.
I think we've got something tonight that's not going to leave anybody out.
I agree.
Anything else you want to say?
I think you look good.
Okay, I got it on tonight. Y'all can't smell me, but I got it on tonight. So, I wanted to say one thing before we get started. If you say anything crazy in the comments, I will invite you to the block party where you can join the others. Now, listen, in my block party, there is room. What they're serving at my block party is hot dogs and hot dog water to drink. That's how you gonna. That's all that's available. Hot dogs and hot dog water. So I don't.
Did you really just say that?
So there's an endless supply. Whatever you need, however much you want, find yourself over there.
Over there.
Yeah, and join the others.
This is wild.
So how have you felt about these episodes? What do you? I usually spring the topic on her like the day before, the hour before, 30 minutes before. So shout out to you because you're the real MVP. You just rocking with it.
For me, it's just like conversations we have. So I just have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So it is a little different because we're on live tonight, but welcome into our conversation.
So we did a presentation of Marriages for Grown Folks at Apostle Bill Davis Church in Tulsa a couple of weeks ago, and he just kept saying how natural our conversation felt and how it, and I said, listen, I can't be with nobody for 17 years, and I don't think you can either if I don't like you. Like, 17 years is too long to be with somebody and you just putting up with them.
Yeah.
When you start to get double digits and you referring to that person as my old lady or my old man in a derogatory.
I despise those types.
You gotta go. I don't.
Cringe.
Stuff just don't work right if I don't like you.
Right.
Like I just can't.
And we talk about everything. So even these topics are very organic for us because we'll talk about anything.
We talk about everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's on? My mom is on. I see. I don't want to call everybody's name, but hey, y'all, we can see you. We about to cut up tonight. I got my props together. We about to do it. I got a drawer full of. I forgot my powder. I got a drawer full of. Oh, we can see the. So I don't have to look down. We can see your comments on the screen. So my mom is on. You're supposed to be at Bible study, Mom. What you doing? It's Wednesday night. Maybe she had Bible study on Tuesday night. So let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready to cut up. I think this is going to be good. So we have, this is what I want to say. We have one church, 2 locations.
Oh, okay.
3 locations tonight. We got 3 campuses watching tonight. We have the Instagram campus.
Hey, Instagram.
We've got the YouTube Live campus.
Hey.
And then I've always wanted to say this. And then we've got the Facebook.
Hello to you guys as well.
You don't have to wait until the live is over, but you can share right down. Okay, I always wanted to say that.
I'm glad you got to say it.
Preaching and teaching that matter is worth the data.
It's worth the data. You're wild.
You know, you used to say a church alive is worth the drive, but you know, we digital, so. Oh,
I don't
Lord.
know all this church jargon, y'all.
Oh, it's hot already. So let's do it. Mom said she got Bible study on Tuesday night. Okay.
See,
I'm sorry.
all in her
I
stuff.
was in the wrong.
Yeah.
So let's begin. We did episode 29 and we titled it. First of all, shout out to the graphic.
Yeah, you did your
We
thing.
had Pops on there. We had Shireen and
it was good.
Bilal. Everybody keeps asking, who's going to be the DJ? Who's going to be the DJ? Ladies, the B-Man is in the house. Those Muppets that I shared, those Muppets have given me new life.
You are crazy, though.
I can't help it. Somebody
he
commented.
made us a Muppet, y'all.
I didn't
make
us a Muppet. Somebody commented under all of those Muppet remakes of movies that I do the baked potatoes on. And somebody commented and said, these gave me life. That was so, my day was made. I have done my good deed for the day. I gave somebody life. Okay, I think we're ready now. I had to just get all of that out. All of our people are on tonight. Y'all come in, get ready, get your popcorn. So,
buckle up.
Episode 29 was titled, What Works in Your House.
Yes.
You went off on that one.
Okay.
You did. Episode 30, we had a clip that Marcus cut out. Shout out to Marcus, our videographer.
Yes, he does an amazing job.
Somebody asked me Sunday, man, who's doing all your video? Marcus.
Marcus.
So big shout out to him. And just everyone who's supporting the platform and who watches.
Yeah.
People just put share it to their TV and just get into bed. We like the Balloon Pop Show.
Yes.
That's our show.
It really does crack us up.
I love the balloon.
If you want to know why people are single, just watch one episode of that show, baby. It'll help you out real fast. I'm
It's
like,
the
this is why
shoes for
people
me.
are.
It's
I'm
the
like,
hair.
shoes, a hairdo, all of those things can be changed.
But I love to watch it.
I know. It's interesting.
I love it. I love it.
It's a lot you can learn. And the lies that they come up with instead of just saying, I'm not attracted to you.
I'm not attracted to you.
You're just not my type of person. I'm not really feeling you. They be like, oh, I mean, you got too much hair. You know, I'm a fade type person. What?
Ain't nobody got no type.
They don't.
They got a preference. Okay, so enough of that. I think everybody's settled now. Places everybody. Ushers, obey your ushers. Face the rear.
Too much.
So episode 29, we had a clip from that episode and we titled it, What Happens in This House?
Right.
We got views on it. We had discussions around it. And so we decided to do a part 2 of that entitled episode 30, which is this episode. What happens in this house? How many of you in the comments, wherever you're watching this from, have ever heard or said yourself, what happens in this house stays in this house?
Very toxic, very toxic. It's giving very toxic energy.
I know he's okay. So,
woo, very toxic, y'all. Very toxic. It's giving very toxic energy. Please hear my heart. That is so toxic. Okay, I'm going to try to contain myself.
If you haven't heard
Lord.
or said before, what happens in this house stays in this house, maybe you've heard leave well enough alone.
Also toxic.
That's a cousin.
Because we're not burying secrets. We dealing with them.
Okay. So this generation is we on one. So we're gonna deal with. I think that it is important. Kiki said, "I think that's so crazy. It drives me. It's so shallow." Very well said. So before we get into the content of this, we need to give due diligence to the background and the origin of this statement, because it is important that we make it clear that this statement was not developed or cultivated with the intent to create, to create harm.
Yeah.
That is so important to understand. That is so important to unhook those who said this statement or perpetuated this statement down through family lines. We've got to free them from any animosity that we might hold or that we might find out that we might have held when we get down into these attributes. We got to release the parents and the grandparents, because this statement was developed to protect.
Yeah.
And out of that protection, some advantages were taken, and it ended up causing harm in a lot of instances.
Right.
And we'll share some of our story too. Let me also say this. No, when we speak concerning our parents, we said this last week, but I think it bears repeating
Right.
that everybody's parents did the best that they knew. If you know better,
You'll do better.
you do better.
Yeah.
And so whether they were in church every Sunday, whether they had a Bible in the back window of the car, whatever they said, whatever their occupation, you have to understand that when people know better, they do better.
That's right. That's right.
And trauma a lot of times is passed down. Hurt people. So we got to make this clear before we get down into it, because this tonight is really going to ruffle feathers.
Right.
Everybody's just going to be a whole bunch of down.
And if something toxic was normalized for our parents, because it was normalized, they're going to give it to us because that's their norm.
There you go.
And it's not intentional. It's not to cause pain or discomfort or harm to us, but it's what they know.
There you go. So just when we speak of parents, when we speak of guardians, when we speak of big mamas and big papas, this is not directed to any person.
Right.
This is just general information. That sounds so passive aggressive, but the preacher used to say, only a hit dog holler.
I've never heard that before.
That's her. Or another one is, ain't anybody mad but the devil. That's when they trying to get something off their chest and they really want to be reckless for who they saying it to. They just say, well, if you get mad, you full of the devil. So that's not what we on tonight. Just take this information, hear it completely through. I just had to get my church disclaimers. So let's do it. My mama said right on. So Your home culture is going to follow you into your adulthood. Whoever raised you, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Even if you despise it, it's going to follow you.
Talk about it.
It is, because if you despise the household that you were raised in, what we have a tendency to do is become an extremist on the other end, which still is not healthy. So if your parents had lots of boundaries on you and they were very rigid, then you become overly loose with your children. But both are needed. Yep. So there's a level of trust that you should have with your children to allow them to grow and develop and learn how to think critically. There's also guidance that's needed, which are boundaries.
Yeah.
And if you don't teach your children about boundaries, that means they're going to enter into a relationship with no boundaries and be mishandled and misused.
Oh, you all in the notes tonight. You all are trying to figure out who's in the notes, who's in the notes. So your home culture is going to follow you into your adulthood.
Absolutely.
Until we identify and until we receive healing in those areas. If you sit down with a real good therapist, shout out to my therapist. It's one of the reasons why this live tonight is on the subject of relationships and family and not on some other stuff that we could do a live on. So thanks be unto God for his grace and his mercy that we're not doing that tonight. But a real good therapist is going to ask you about the environment and the culture in which you were born and raised in.
Right.
Who were the villains? Who were the superheroes? Who were the people that escaped accountability? Who were the people that held those accountable?
Right.
It has everything to do with how we show up in our marriages, in our relationships.
Right.
And so, like you said earlier, we cannot, even if we didn't like or despise who raised us or the environment that we were raised in, it still follows us both negatively
and positively.
Exactly. And so the positive remains the positive, but it's the trauma, it's the dysfunction, it's the learned behaviors that once served a purpose, but don't any longer. That's what we got to talk about tonight.
Like, here's a light example, right? My mother and my older brother are both left-handed. So the way I set up an ironing board is for someone who is left-handed. And so John will always say, why are you setting it up like that? And I'm like, what you mean? I'm setting the ironing board up. So one day he said, you do know the iron is supposed to be this way. And he was explaining to me why. And I said, no, my mom was left-handed. So this is how I saw her set it up. This is how I learned how to iron. This is what I am used to. So that's something that is harmless, but it's still something that I picked up because of what I saw in my home environment.
That is dope. You know the skinny side to the ironing board, and there's a fat side. She would put the skinny side, put the iron on the skinny side. And my mom taught me that because I was doing it that way. She said, no, son, you're supposed to put it on the thick side. So if you knock it over, it'll fall on the ironing board and not on the floor. I burned a hole in the carpet one time. So I had to learn the hard way. So if you trust that individual, if there's mutual respect, and we're going to deal with these in these dialogue. If there's mutual respect between you and the other person that you're with, it can be a conversation, and the conversation can be, where did you learn that? Why do you do that? And it's an opportunity to investigate who that person is and where they came from. Now, if there's a lot of undealt with issues, if there's a lot of open-ended arguments in the relationship, if that person hasn't done their soul work, if the other person hasn't done their soul work, it's going to be an accusation, and it's going to be some defense, and it's going to be some furniture moving in that house or that apartment, okay? So.
And now that he knows that about me, even if I do set it up incorrectly, he is not bothering me about it. He's just chalking it up to, that's how she learned it, that's what she knows.
You just respected me.
It ain't nothing deep.
When you know someone's history, when you know somebody's history, it helps you entreat them a little differently.
Absolutely.
With care. So let's get into it. So let's give the backdrop behind what I found out in my studies. The origin of this statement, what happens in this house stays in this house. If you're just tuning in, make sure you share and comment. If you enjoy this, help us get the word out. We believe in relationships, and we don't have all the answers, but such as that we have.
Okay, we want to
share it freely. Okay, so your pain and the environment that you grew up in, it can live in your nervous system. So even if you're out of that environment, your nervous system can still act and behave as though you're still in that. They call it PTSD. If it was a negative experience. And so we were at a birthday party, a wedding, what was it? A baby shower. Lord Jesus. It was a baby shower. And at the end of the baby shower, they had balloons and the kids started.
You about to call me out?
I wasn't even going to mention you. I'll see.
That's
that dog holler. So, really? That hit dog.
That's how you
So
feel.
the kids started popping I really started it because I was trying to act like I was on the balloon pop show because I would go on and cut up. So I popped the first balloon, and so the kids were like, "Give me a toothpick, give me a." So the kids start popping these balloons all over this baby shower venue, and everybody, not you, but everybody who had
I'm included,
a fear or an anxiety around gunshots or balloon pop, they were like on 10. And I really could teach this because it started to scare the adults. And I remember when I was the kids' age that finding out that adults are afraid of some stuff too. Oh, wait a minute, you niggas. Oh, yeah. So I'm not the only person that's around here afraid of tornado. You too. Vampires.
Not tornadoes.
They started, the kids started to get enjoyment out of seeing the adults.
Yeah, they thought it was very comical.
So I'm bringing that up because even though you are not in that environment that caused the trauma or the pain, your body still can remember what it feels like, what it sounds like, smells that people wear, movies, songs can bring you back as a bookmark to that time. So it's so important to understand that we are playing with fire when we talk about what happens in this house. Okay, so let me give you the backdrop and then we cut you loose. This statement originates from the mid 20th century in Black American households. Other cultures and races have used it, but this developed, from what I read, it developed in Black American households. The statement was not intended to cause harm. It was birthed, this statement, out of survival, protection, and secrecy. Now, why would Black African American families need to develop this statement? What happens in this house stays in this house. Why did they need protection, secrecy, and survival? Number one, it says during the Jim Crow and Civil Rights era, Black families faced systemic racism and discrimination and violence. So keeping family matters private was a way to protect the family from scrutiny, judgment, and harm, especially from outsiders. So talking too much in public about family matters could get somebody arrested, killed, or beaten. So we're talking about a time frame when neither one of us were alive that you just couldn't be around here talking about what's going on in your house.
Yeah. It's really sad because it just speaks to the fact that they were living in fear constantly. And they didn't want to give anyone a reason to cause harm to their family. So
when I read this and when we talked about it, it really birthed in me another level of compassion for those who had to live under this. There's a different type of trauma socially and economically and racially that we're experiencing now. But the fear, when I started reading on this, I felt the anxiety from these different levels of oppression that these people were living under. So it just gives me another level of compassion when we talk to people and when we walk through our own even. So survival and protection, that's the one. Number two, pride and respectability politics. Read that, Britt.
Culture pressures for Black families to represent well in public, twice as hard to be half as good. I don't know if you've heard that statement or not, but that is something that was taught in Black households. Like you're gonna have to work twice as hard to be half as good. And yeah, it is something that I even heard in my household. Like, you a Black woman with red hair, you better make sure your hair is done before you leave this house. You better make sure those clothes are ironed because you're representing this family when you leave.
My mama used to say, you need to put some heat on them jeans. I said, my mama, just going to work at McDonald's. It don't matter where you working at. So not particularly that statement, but that mindset that we have to, work twice as hard?
Right. We have to perform better. We have to present better. We have to speak clearer. You know how they say you got that work voice because, you know, you gotta
That's cold
get it
switching.
together. Exactly.
So really admitting to dysfunction or hardship, it felt like they were giving opportunity for racist narratives to speak against or come against that family structure.
Right.
So,
Like even in the workplace, your coworkers may complain and say all of these things, but you're not. Even if you're going through the worst time in your life, you're going to suck it up and you're going to sit up here and you're going to get the job done.
now
And you can cry on your way home.
don't you do it at all, don't do it at work. Never let them see you sweat.
Exactly.
All of these statements that are really birthed and born and cultivated out of trauma and
Right.
pain, they are affecting us now. We're going to deal with the relationship aspect to this, but we want to drive the point home that this stuff runs deep.
Yeah.
I just thought about this when you were talking. When I'm eating my lunch at work, I don't want you making no comments about what I got. Ooh, that smells good. Of course it smells good because it's been seasoned. It's got all the seasoning. It's not just salt and pepper in it. Ooh, that smells good. No, when I bring Jamel's barbecue to work and the glory cloud of that smoke just fills up the break room. Ooh, that smells good. No, don't speak on what you got? None of your business.
The food I brought, that's what I got.
That's what I got.
That's it, that's all.
Somebody, if I go on vacation and come back, where'd you go on vacation? I'm not telling y'all nothing. Because why? I don't want you to try to use it against me. I don't want you knowing nothing I got going on at home.
Right.
Because I don't want y'all, my boss called me one day, big money. I thought that was a compliment. Oh, he called me big money. What that really means is they get ready to start asking for a whole lot of favors from you because they call you, if anybody calls you big money, run. Big money.
No, thank you.
Don't call me big money. Okay, let's finish this.
Okay.
So we dealt with survival and protection, pride and respectability politics, i.e. protection.
Right.
Number 3, generational trauma and secrecy. Now here's where we get into the mud. Then we're going to talk about, I think we have 6 examples of how what happens in this house stays in this house. Home culture affects our relationships.
Yeah.
This is why it's for grown folks. You ready?
Yeah.
This is the last one. Do the last one for us.
So generational trauma and secrecy. The first one is this mindset sometimes covered up abuse, dysfunction, and pain. I know, you just got to breathe. We're going to just give y'all an opportunity to just...
You want to speak on it?
I mean, I feel like it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I mean, what was really something that was set up to protect the family unit in one generation, in the next generation, it became like a blanket to cover up toxic behavior that was harming people.
It just don't serve now. It doesn't. So we're in the generation now where we believe in therapy. She's got a therapist. I got a therapist. And we public about it. You know, there was a time
like,
that,
something's
especially
wrong with
black
you.
folks,
You're
I'm not going to
crazy.
see no therapist or no therapist, and you hurting and harming everybody who you come in contact with because you won't sit on the couch.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, so
They were also experimenting on blacks in those generations.
See, that's why you
when it
come on.
comes to medicine.
come on, compassion.
So, you know, you got to give a little grace.
But now,
it's a new season.
take
it's a
your
new day.
meds.
Yeah. if
Take
you
your
need
medicine.
help, get help.
I had a friend of mine who, oh God, I hope he ain't watching. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna know. Don't nobody move. Ain't nobody gonna know I'm talking about him. I'm sorry, friend. So we went to a healing service at ORU. Oh, y'all about to clown and these comments. So he goes to a healing service and he says, I got healed. I'm not taking my medicine no more. Now this wasn't no Zyrtec, this wasn't no Claritin. He was taking some serious medicine for the survival. This man started taking his medicine and went to the Rodney Howard Brown is the revivalist that came. He said he got healed. That man stopped taking his medicine. About a week later, he was in the hospital.
Oh, that's sad.
I'm trying to tell you. So take your medicine.
Yeah.
Take your medicine. Please, take your medicine.
Yeah.
Go to therapy.
God can heal, don't get me wrong, but God also gave medical professionals the intellect to be able to help us.
Well, modern medicine is an aspect of the miracle.
Right.
Okay, so mental health,
Yep.
sexual abuse,
Addiction
addiction.
and domestic violence.
Now,
All things that have plagued our community.
oh Lord. Okay, have you ever heard? I was watching. It was First Sunday. I think it was Lee John, no, his brother. The baby mama said, "Listen, don't make me put the man in the middle. Don't make me put the child support on you. Don't make me do it. But these systems of we're just going to handle it in house. Mm-hmm. I know you can think of a situation in your family where it was attempted to handle it in house. Because, let me show you how different our childhoods were. Okay, this is how out of touch I was with this. What happens in this house stays in this. Okay, breathe. Here we go. Marcus, don't do it. I called Mom J with me one time, and I said, I've had enough. I'm calling the police. Mom, Mom, you remember that? I got so pissed off at Mom J. And I went in my room and closed the door and put my back behind the door. I'm gonna get her. And I picked up my phone and with the little cord around, and I called the police. And I thought about it, and I called 911, and they said, 911, where's your emergency? And I got nervous and I hung it up, not knowing. Don't look like that. I'm gonna tell y'all, because I ain't got no help over here.
He ain't got no help.
Not knowing.
Because I would be dead if I would have called 911. Matter of fact, my mom would have been like, go on, pack your bag and go with him. Go on with him. Go on with him.
Now, we grew up in two completely different cultures. Thank God we made it together. That's a death wish. And she got me good. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how big of a no-no that was to put the man in your stuff.
All caps and bold. No.
I called the police and I hung up, and then police was at the door. This make y'all real mad. About 7 minutes later.
Once again, he was raised in the suburbs. I was raised in the hood.
You ain't got to tell all my business. We ain't got to the good points yet. So I'm in there playing the game, and the doorbell ring. Ding-dong. I said, I wonder who it could be. So I said, I'll get it.
Because he's thinking that he has company.
I think I got a customer. Let me
wipe
my tears
because
away.
of the environment he was raised in. He's like, oh yeah.
And I look out that peephole, and it is the Riley County Police Department. It's the man in blue. I said, oh God. They said, who is it? Never mind. I said, there's nothing going on here. Why are y'all here? So anyway, after she came to the door, she found she served us called. We had a 911 call. She wore my behind out.
Good job, Mom J. Good job.
So that's a good example of what happens in this house. I should have just took my butt whooping on and went on.
Because what did you do? Your mama was not just whipping you to whip you. You really had to do something bad for her to even get there.
I probably hit my credit card or something like that. Something.
Clowning.
Okay, so it is important for us to say this. I'm going to cut you loose. Silence does not erase impact.
Yes. I just feel like that has to definitely air out.
Silence does not erase the impact. Yeah. Just because you don't talk about it don't mean it ain't impacting you.
Buying a person a meal does not erase the impact. Saying, oh, let's go get some ice cream, let me go buy you something, does not erase the impact. If you want to speak to impact, you have to acknowledge the wrongdoing.
Yeah.
Ownership.
And it takes a healed ego.
Right. And it's still not going to erase the impact, but it shows the other person that you wish you didn't do it. Remorse.
And as the healer, I'm not letting slide. There's some stuff I ain't letting slide. The slide, somebody told me the other day, just let it slide. No, the slide is closed. The slide is closed. I don't want a cha-cha slide. I want the electric slide. I don't want to slip and slide this summer. The slide is closed. I'm talking about blatant disrespect, blatant I ain't doing it. So
this is definitely the healed version of John. Yeah. Because he used to just be like, it ain't no big deal.
Yeah, I didn't let it slide for too long.
I'd be like, yes, go for it.
I ain't letting it slide. Blatant disrespect. Somebody came to my line the other day, was on some racist. I said, I don't like how you talking to me. And I said, I'm going to let you go to the other person, because if not me, you going to lock up. He got so hot, he called the police on himself. He got so mad. I said, I can't say to you what I want to say to you because I got this shirt on because I'm working for the man. But if you catch me, he said, what time you get off? I said, I get off at 7. Let's do it.
Oh, not that far though.
I did.
Okay.
No, he ain't letting it slide. No, I ain't letting it slide. Hell no, he ain't letting it slide.
Okay.
I just wanted to tell that. I just wanted y'all to know.
We know.
We ain't letting it slide.
We know. We here with you.
No. All right. I just wanted to say it's a new me. It's 2.0. Greater John Riles. You know what? You know when the church had finance problems and they close it down and they got renaming it, they put greater in front of it. I'm greater, John. If you ever been through something that didn't take you out, just put greater in front of your name. Right. Everybody who's watching live, just put greater in front of your name. Okay. So I want you to do.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Greater is coming. There you go. Oh Lord. Okay. So these are the 6 or 7 areas that show up or present from growing up in a household that lived under the culture of what happens in this house, stays in this house. The first area that is affected is number 1. What's number 1?
Communication.
Wow.
So growing up in a silent household, the issues of confrontation you'll struggle with. So if you're used to people acting like something that is an issue isn't an issue, when you're in your own household and you're tied to somebody who likes to confront an issue, it's going to be like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
So normally people either shut down or they become very explosive because they're trying to get the other individual off of them because they don't know how to engage in a conversation to just deal with an issue in real time.
So even though you're not in that home anymore,
right,
your communication can still be affected by the culture and the environment that you were raised in.
Right.
So I'm not there anymore.
Right.
There's a book out called The Body Keeps the Score. Number 2, emotional regulation.
Right.
If arguments were explosive or completely avoided, a lot of us grew up in households that were either one or the other.
Or a combination of both.
Or a combination of one extreme or the other.
My mom would not like confrontation, so she would avoid it, and then like a volcano explodes.
So you got the best of both worlds.
Listen, I don't know if we're calling it the best, but yeah, baby. I got to see them both.
So it's difficult to emotionally regulate if when you walk in the home environment or you're in relationship with someone, you don't know what side you're going to get or you don't know what side you're going to give.
Right.
So it's difficult to emotionally regulate yourself when you haven't identified the effects of that family culture or received healing or walked through it. And so I have
looked at it, investigated it,
So we are oil and water, especially when we first got together. I'm a pop off, and I was like, I'm not with the smoke.
What we ain't gonna do is, I did a whole lot of this. I was directing traffic while I was talking. You see his face? You see how he looking at me? Because he hated these hands, but loved them at the same time. Can't hear nobody. You'd be like, oh, you got mom hands. But if we was in an argument, you'd be like, if you don't put them hands down, you talking to me like you want to fight me.
Oh, the scripture said that we want the good and not the bad. So we were just really opposite of one another in how we processed our home environments.
Right.
So when we got together, it was oil and water. And no matter how high you put that KitchenAid mixer, when there's just oil and water, they ain't gonna mix.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna mix.
Side note, just because you meet someone in church does not mean that you have the same belief system as them, nor does it mean that the home environment that you were raised in is the same. Just want to put that out there.
Say it one more time. I got the mic. Please say it.
Just because you met someone at church, it does not mean that they have the same belief system as you, nor does it mean that they were raised in the same type of household as you. So investigate.
Now, all of these points we really could do. We could flip the script and talk about church and religion and use these same. But I ain't gonna do it. But just know I got it in the tool belt if you want to. Okay. Yeah. So emotional regulation. You escalate quickly. You become passive aggressive or suppress your feelings to keep the peace. Right. This is a tall tale sign of how an individual can really gauge whether or not they have an adequate relationship with themselves. Because if you do not have the difficult conversation in order to keep the peace, and the conversation needs to be had, and it is killing you on the inside, it's an identifier of low self-love, of low self-love. So that's a sign of low self-esteem.
Self-esteem and low self-love are kind of synonymous.
I'm not going to have the conversation to keep the peace, even though the peace is killing me.
Although it's false peace. It's not real peace anyways, because you're in inner turmoil, which means there is no peace.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, intimacy and affection. So depending on how you saw it modeled before you, it will show up in your current relationship. So PDA for me was like, and he'd be like, what's the problem? Yeah. I'm like, I never saw my mom like holding a man's hand, hugging, like we would hug people as a greeting, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like no, let me hold you. Let me take you in. That wasn't something I saw. Definitely wasn't seeing no pats on the butt. Definitely wasn't seeing no, look into each other's eyes and kisses. So when he did that stuff to me when we first got married, I was like, no, not in public.
And I processed it. I processed it as
rejection. Yeah. So I was causing him pain because of my reference, but my reference said, I've never seen this. I don't know how to receive this. I don't know if this is okay. It seems very taboo to me because I wasn't raised seeing it. And he's saying, I've been waiting on a wife and I got a wife and I love you. So why can't I show you that wherever we are?
I put this on my Instagram today, as a matter of fact. When I was in middle school, there's 2 things I wanted to do. I wanted to drive and I wanted to have sex. All this other stuff is for the birds. This adulting. So
sounds about right.
I was driving, but I was trying to, warm you up, and she was, so.
Yeah, we would drive in the car. He would put his hand on my leg and I'd be looking like, what you doing?
Okay. But if you just work with it, if you just do your homework, I'm telling you, I'm Joe Gun, and I'm a living testimony. I'm testifying to let you know that these hands, these hands ain't got no problem. I ain't got no resistance. I'm willing and obedient.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir. Anytime I need these hands ministering, come and just hold your hands up. Just lift up your holy hands without wrath or doubt. Yes, sir. Those are ministering hands. Carry me through a million hard times. It get hard sometimes.
So we gonna do this?
I just had to do it. I had to do it for Jamil. Yeah. Okay. Where did we stop? Did we do boundaries yet?
No.
Okay. So another attribute of how.
Can I say this though? On intimacy and affection, those conversations are so underrated until they're like causing disruptions in relationships. But if you will take the time to just be vulnerable on purpose, to just have those conversations, you can really save a lot of wedges in your relationship that are unnecessary. And do it when you guys are getting along. Don't wait until an argument come up and be like, well, see, you don't even hug me and you don't give me compliments. And you don't talk to me, and you don't call me beautiful. No.
Yeah.
You can sit at dinner and be like, babe, I really love it when you compliment me. You still getting the same point across without causing chaos in your house.
Yep.
I love your embrace. I love when you kiss me when I get home. You can express your needs without destroying what you have already tried to establish.
You just said a mouthful.
Just saying.
I ain't got nothing to say on it.
And
so, number 4, boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries. If you grew up in a home environment where boundaries were either too rigid, as in controlling, or too loose in regard to neglect, you may not know how to protect your peace.
Right.
Now, we really talk in our culture, in our day, there's really an emphasis on I'm protecting my peace and I'll cut them off and this and that. But I really challenge whether or not those of us who are really standing on I'm protecting my peace are really about that life, because when it comes to protecting your peace concerning relationships that you've had for a long time, protecting your peace concerning people who you respect or once respected, it really is the test to really determine whether or not you can really protect your peace. And there have been some situations down through my life where I've had to tell people that I really love and respect, I'm not with the bullshit. I ain't with it. I'm just love you, respect you. Yeah. So like once you realize what it's costing you, if people, I read this the other day and it said the only group of people or person or people who have a problem with you setting boundaries are the individuals who are benefiting from you not having any.
Come on now.
So if you love me and if I love you and there is something that I'm doing that is crossing a real boundary,
right?
Because I love you,
right.
I'm not going to do it.
Right. And because I love you and I respect you, I'm not going to do anything that's going to cause you harm.
Now that's grown folk talk right there.
And that's why marriage is for grown folks.
That's grown folk talk. But if I'm with you for something that you can give me,
right?
If I'm here just for the fishes and the loaves, if I'm here for an ulterior motive and not out of the care because I see the God in you, I see the Creator in you, then I'm going to handle you as means to an end, or I'm going to handle you out of my pain.
Or I'm going to throw a fit to get my way and act like you don't have emotions. But that's a conversation for another day.
And we did all of that, didn't we?
Yeah, there was a season that we did all of that.
We did it all. Brand new socks and drawers. Yeah. So boundaries. If you grew up in a household either too rigid or too loose, you may not know how to protect your peace.
Right.
What does that look like to protect your peace? Give us an example of what that looks like when a person says, I'm going to protect my peace in this matter.
If you are not okay, you can't be okay for anyone else. That's the simplest way I know how to put it. So if I am living out of a deficit, I can't show up for you like you need me to. I can't show up for our children. I can't show up for the people that I'm in relationships with. So I have to be okay. And if you don't want me to be okay, now we got to have a whole nother conversation. Why you don't want me to be okay?
Why don't you do it?
Why do you want me to be overly dependent on you? I'm just saying. That's toxic.
Yeah.
That's very toxic.
You
can love someone deeply and care for them deeply and be loyal to the relationship that you have. But with that loyalty, there should come a reciprocation of, because you're loyal to me, I want to handle you with care.
I got you.
I'm not going to mishandle you. I'm not going to abuse you in any way.
Whose mask do they say that you should put on when you're sitting next to a small child in the event of an emergency on an airplane?
On an airplane. In the event of an emergency, if the mask drop, put your mask on first. Do you know why they say that? Because your behind will pass out while you trying to put the mask on your kid and then y'all gonna both die. Same thing with a relationship. If the mask drop, if the stuff hit the fan, put your mask on first. Then you can help your spouse.
Woo, I love it.
Another way to put that in relationships is put the microscope on yourself first.
Yeah,
before you start trying to point your finger and blame, look at yourself. Because something on the inside of you drew you to the person that you went anyway. So take some ownership and accountability. And he already knew I was going to get on my soapbox. That's why he asked me to say something.
Hey, she loved that point. That point I know. I just knew. I wanted to see you. I wanted to see y'all.
I do not like when people want to just blame the other person that they're in relationship with. I'm like, but you chose them. And it's easy to make it seem like it's all the other person, but you chose them. So something inside of them drew you in.
Now, I'm gonna get on real quick. Somebody, we got 2 more to go, 3 more to go. If you really, and this is just anywhere, this is your job. This is, I know somebody who told their family, I want out of the family. Just the whole, I don't want my last name to be y'all's last name no more. I was like, God, no. But if you don't like it somewhere, this is what I've just come to the revelation of. I'm grown.
I don't have to be there.
Wait a minute.
I pay my own bills.
No, you're taking it too fast. Like if you are with someone and you really just hate it, like they just grind your gear, it's cheaper to keep her or him. But if you don't,
no, it's not. I even hate that saying. Let's just unpack that statement real quick, and then I'm gonna let him get back on this soapbox.
Unpack statements.
It's cheaper to keep them. But if it's killing you internally, if it's absolutely disrupting your peace, then it ain't cheaper to keep them.
It's expensive.
But that's your lie that you keep telling yourself to stay in the toxicity that you love.
Do I need to get the mic? I couldn't get to it fast enough.
I'm just saying, we gotta stop with all of these excuses.
So just
say I like being toxic. I like swimming in toxicity. I like sleeping in toxicity. I just want to lay in it. I just want to enjoy it. That's what people need to say. That's the reality.
If a person is really, and I'm talking about two adults.
Yes.
This is grown folk talk. If they really are just no good, he or she, or he or he, or she or she.
What they say, a bad apple.
Bad apple spoiler. You can leave. It's really, and we see so many, and we were there too. And someone was like, if you just think that Brittany's just all, why don't you just pack your stuff up and leave? And I was like, nah, I'll just move, John. I just venting.
There were some bad things at work on the inside of me, but there were also some great things that he was benefiting from, and vice versa.
Had to weigh it out.
Yeah.
So if it's really as bad as some of us say it is, when just in times in our relationship, if you're going to abuse them and mistreat them,
come on, just leave them alone.
Just leave them alone, because somebody else, that I know some people who don't like the people that they with, and I know some folk who would not in the same, but I'm just saying, like,
would love to have them.
We love to have them.
Don't use somebody up and wait till they ain't no good for nobody else, and then try to get rid of them. If you don't like them, let them go.
Y'all like clowning. So
let them go.
In adult relationship, this fits under boundaries. We're gonna do two more than we're done. This fits under boundaries. In adult relationships, you may display an overly accommodating or hyper independent behavior, pushing people away or clinging too tightly. So if there's a lack of boundaries in the household that you grew up in, you can have an adverse effect of that. True. Pushing people away or too clingy too soon, especially if they got that hammer.
Y'all, I did not know he was about to pull that out. Okay, wait a minute.
Because if they got the hammer,
what you're saying is true though. If they got the hammer, or if they got that wet. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Because if you weren't touched affectionately, without any strings attached, without any motive, then when someone touches you and they do have a motive, your body may not be able to differentiate the two, and you end up going with the hammer because you're looking for love in all the wrong. So it's a real thing, even though we're grown and we can see.
Sometimes the hammer just have you fiending.
Will you please? I'm just trying to tell some. So this is grown folk talk, because it has a lot to do with what we received or what we did not receive. If the words of affirmation tank, if the acts of service tank, if it wasn't filled by a safe individual, you can get somebody who has ill motive to still fill that same tank, and it will feel in the moment the same. But if they have an angle, they'll let you stay in that relationship 15, 20 years, and then you decide one day, okay, I don't want to take it anymore. And then you the wicked witch, or you Elphaba.
Listen.
Okay, so that's number 4, boundaries. Do number 5 for us.
Roles and responsibilities. If you had to be the adult early, taking care of siblings or emotionally supporting a parent.
Breathe.
I just got to breathe for a second.
This is a good one.
So I feel like parents, we really need to be very mindful of this. And I say that because I don't think that my mother was aware of how much I was showing up for her emotionally growing up, how much I was trying to cover up like things that my brother was doing, things that I was doing to make sure we weren't causing her any emotional distress, because she already had so much on her plate. We also were the go-to people for her when romantic relationships failed. She would cry on me and my brother's shoulder. Wow. That's just the reality. And we like, Mama, it's going to be okay. We're going to make it. But as a kid, that's not something that I should have even been processing or thinking about. But it became normalized.
Yep.
So as an adult, when I need to show up in hard situations, my body just immediately kicks into gear because it's used to it. It did it so often growing up that it's just like, okay, this is what we do. All right, let's get it done.
So how did that present before you found out what it was and how much it was affecting you? Give us an example of how that presented in your friendships or your marriage.
In 2 ways. So one way, it would show up in relationships, even I would say romantically. I found myself always being emotionally available to receive other people's problems, but not necessarily feeling safe enough to share my own problems. So I be the person, if you in trouble, they know, like, you can call me. I'm going to show up. I got you. I'm going to ride for you. Yeah, I'm here. But I didn't allow people to do that for me, which left me in a deficit often.
And produced a resentment.
Right. I'd be like, see, folks ain't really in this relationship for me. They just want what I can do for them. But I never gave them the opportunity.
You better talk.
So ownership says you don't know if they would have shown up for you because you never gave them the opportunity to do so. And I had to eat that. I had to swallow that because although I wanted to have resentment towards others, I had never given them the opportunity to really show up.
Okay, so tell them about the script.
Or I would become afraid if they did try to show up for me. Like, oh, that's a little bit too much. I don't know.
Make me feel funny on the inside.
I don't know if I want to commit to that level of you showing up for me. Because what if I drop you? Are you going to be mad at me because you're showing up for me in a way that I haven't had before?
Tell them about the script from Brené Brown's book.
Ooh, okay. Atlas of the Heart. Shameless plug. Brené Brown. Read it. If you have any type of heart trauma, emotional trauma, read it. It will help you. So what she talks about in the book is how we can have an expectation for people to show up for us in a certain way or respond to us in a certain way. But she said, it's like if we write a script. I can't expect him to know the part that I've given him if I haven't given him the script. So I'm responding as if I gave you a script and you responding like, I don't have the script. What's going on? I don't know what you want me to say. If you've ever been in an argument with your spouse, your friend, anybody, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and they say, I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to do? That is proof that you have an expectation for them to follow a script that you have not given them.
I just feel like you're saying it with your chest.
My whole chest.
And just because you told them once,
right,
twice, 3 times a lady.
I was thinking the same thing.
Doesn't mean that they comprehend.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they know how to slot it in every situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to say it
multiple
than once.
Times. Yeah.
Now that's redundant. But
some people learn by repetition. That is a reality. Research shows it.
Sometimes you got to show people better than you tell them. Sometimes you got to show them.
Give me an example.
Like, I'm not going to take it no more.
Ooh.
You just keep saying it, you keep saying it, you keep saying it. If you keep pushing.
But when you got that suitcase and you said, I told you 10 times I couldn't take it no more. I love you.
On the midnight train.
But I'm out.
Yeah. So, I got a soapbox too.
Do
we have 10 more minutes?
You got time.
There are some people that make threats.
Empty threats.
Empty. That's just like this. I need something.
You need something
empty. I need something like this bowl. Like this bowl is empty. It ain't even got it's got holes in it.
It's a strainer, which means it can't hold what it's talking about holding. No way.
The prophetic is even in the kitchen at night. So some people make threats that are really empty to get an individual who.
Some people make threats to manipulate and control the individual that they are with. And he was trying to be nice about it, but I'm going to just tell y'all.
So, but when a person really has done their work and they have worked through all of their fears and is God gonna be mad and what my mama gonna say, what my daddy gonna say, and we've got children together. What about the kids?
Okay, wait, can we pause right there?
I knew I don't catch you. I knew it.
Y'all, I advocate for kids real hard because I wish somebody would have advocated for me and seen me growing up. So I get very passionate about these subjects, right? Staying in a relationship for your children is crazy because what you are modeling before them is toxic behavior. You are teaching them that it is okay to stay in a toxic environment because you reproduce with this individual. The devil is a lie.
Okay, so that's good. Let's add this to it. And
yes.
Parents, we don't have all the answers.
Right.
We never were parents before.
Right.
So parents that don't apologize a lot of times produce children that don't apologize.
Right.
Parents that XYZ oftentimes produce children that don't XYZ. If your mama kept a dirty house, you're either going to keep a super clean house or you're going to keep a filthy house or your dad. Okay, I'm sorry. So what I'm saying is like, I believe this, I can't tell nobody what to do, but we believe that it is beneficial that if you make a mistake,
apologize.
Apologize.
Even to your children. They deserve it.
Because they need to know what it looks like, not only for the parent to model it,
right,
but also they should see us apologize to one another. Yeah. If not, it builds this, what happens in this house stays in this house, and then that child goes on to duplicate that relationship that they saw growing up. And if that relationship that they saw growing up is full of dysfunction, and I was going to cuss, is full of dysfunction, then when they find someone, this can be consciously or unconsciously, when they try to emulate the relationship that they saw growing up, they get it, not understanding that I am picking my daddy. I picked my mom. How many of us in the comments, when we look back on the relationship that we've been in, we really picked the parent that we said that we despise? You picked it.
Yeah.
So this person that you're possibly in relationship with, you are treating them like you treating your dad or your mom.
And if you're unhealed, it may show up as, well, I couldn't protect this parent growing up, so I'm going to try to overprotect you. But they didn't ask for that.
Flip side.
And then it creates resentment because you're saying, well, I was just trying to protect. And they're like, but I never told you I needed protecting like that.
Somebody said in the comments, apologies build trust.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially if they're heartfelt, if they're sincere, and that apology is followed up with, tell me what you need from me to rebuild that trust after I did what I did.
Right.
Ooh, that's good.
Because parents be expecting kids to apologize for bad behavior, but how would they know to apologize unless they saw us apologize when we made mistakes?
Kid's daddy told him, I want you to watch a movie with me, and let's watch Dolomite. He said, I got to go to a party, and he said, what, you don't watch Dolomite? You grew up on it. So just because you grew up on it don't mean it's right, and doesn't mean that you want to engage it now. I grew up on fighting and screaming and cussing, but I don't want to do that in my marriage. I couldn't be married to you these 17 years and it be full of fight. You gonna leave or I'm gonna leave?
I was gonna definitely leave.
Okay, but we not.
I was gonna definitely leave.
5 years, you understand? 4 years, 3 years. You still working out your traumas, but we too deep in. We wide receiver numbers, we quarterback numbers now.
Yeah.
Out here, okay. Number 6, my iPad, my tablet about to die. Number 6. Do number 6.
Self-worth and identity. If your home didn't affirm you and tell you that you were valuable, if you didn't feel unconditional love, when you enter into relationships, you are really going to struggle. Because number one, you're going to struggle with self. And if you don't love yourself, I'm telling you, baby, you're going to struggle in any relationship.
Or are struggling.
Romantic, platonic, or are currently struggling. Like, oh my God, do they really care for me? Do they really love me? Do they really want to be here for me? Are they going to show up? An example that you use often is if someone's reaction is hysterical, it is historical. So if you are overreacting because somebody said, girl, I can't come today, or baby, I'm sorry, I got busy, that shouldn't create a whole war. Because we all get busy sometimes. We all need to rest sometimes.
That's good.
But it's not a personal accusation against you as a person and as an individual. And when you know your own self-worth, you won't take it like that. You'll just understand.
This is our last point. I think we'll end with this unless you want to add something to it.
Okay.
Perfect love.
Yes, love that.
Cast out. I'm in the Bible now.
Fear.
Cast out all fear. When you have received healing in the areas that need healing and you begin to live out your life, it eradicates fear and anxiety. Fear of how God will see you as if he doesn't already know how many hairs are on your head.
Come on.
Fear of how your community will see you. If there's a codependent dynamic concerning your community. So once you have received love and received healing in these areas that there is fear, which is simply a lack of faith and a lack of love, you can make a decision that is a healthy decision for you so that you can in turn be a better lover, to those that are around you. But when there is fear and anxiety, how will God feel about me and how will my community feel about me?
Right.
When you are living out of that, you really can't make clear and wise decisions concerning what you need to make clear and wise decisions regarding,
Right.
because there's a fear of what if. But when you receive healing in them areas, can't nobody, I have no regrets. I have zero
not one.
regrets about this new phase that I'm in because I chose me.
That's right.
And it just feels so good.
It does.
Don't it feel? I feel like 2.0.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And the beautiful thing about him choosing himself is it impacted everybody around him positively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can tell the difference. The kids can tell the difference. And I love it. I love this new space for you.
Greater.
I love that you chose yourself.
So,
I think that's amazing.
We want to encourage anybody who investigate what that is.
Yeah.
Before you make a decision, before you start or stop something, really take these points that we discussed. And if you haven't already, a lot of you have, a lot of you are already onto this, but those of you who might watch this episode that one of these points spoke to the environment or a time in the environment that you were raised in, before you make a decision, before you make a determination, investigate. We are advocates for therapy, as we've said a couple of times on here. Sit with somebody who does not know the whole details or a
neutral party. That's really what a therapist is, a trained neutral party. So they have information and they've gone through classes to help you navigate through, but you also know that they're going to give you unbiased information. They're not choosing a side. They're just trying to help you be whole.
And I love it, and we're grateful for it. Okay, somebody asked, let me see if my comments still come up. Yeah, if you got a question, let me see if I can pull them up on this.
Question is?
If you got a question, we'll answer it before we jump off.
Yes.
We love questions. Okay.
Questions.
Talisha said she had a question. Ask your question. Mark, if you see it, will you pin it? So IG, we ain't been looking at y'all a lot. I got the phone to the side, but we appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
And if you have questions, we would love to answer them.
Ask. If you all have added, this is for Facebook, if you all have added Brittany as a friend, she doesn't check her friend request often.
I will check it today since we did live.
So
but please don't ever take it personal if you message me and I take a while to reply back.
Yeah.
Because I'm really not a big social media person. I like to be present.
Yeah, me too.
Well, one of us gotta.
I'm joking.
No. Okay.
She said, what's something each of you had to sacrifice for each other? Ooh.
For each other. Oh, just in general?
Yeah, I guess so. What's something that each of you had to sacrifice? I got one. You ready?
Yeah.
I had to sacrifice what I thought my marriage would be.
Ooh.
Like, I had an idea in my head, in my singleness and down through my childhood. I'm going to say this and my wife going to say this. We're going to live here. In my script, one of the things that was a big sacrifice for the individuality of me to trade it in for one is that I had to trade in my script.
Yeah.
Like my vision of what I thought this was going to be. It turned out to be beautiful, but how I initially set out to think that it was going to be, and we're going to do this. I thought we was going to live in a house first, and I thought that I wanted to bring you in.
Yeah, let me tell y'all. He said, I wanted to have a house with a 2-car garage and 2 cars, so I literally could just move you in. I said, well, what was I going to bring?
So we didn't. When we got married,
he also never told me this before he got married.
Hey,
when he ushered me into that studio apartment.
You know when they say, "What did you bring to the table?" We got married so poor, and we got married. I was 20.
You were 22.
22, and you 23.
21. I'm younger than you.
Oh, that's right. Anyway,
he had just turned 22 a few months before, and I had just turned 21 a few months before. I'm a November baby. He's a
when
December
they ask,
baby.
What do you bring to the table? We didn't have no table.
Literally, we did not have a dining room table.
We didn't have nothing. So all the furniture that we got, we
the Lord has been good to us, y'all. That's all I know.
So to answer her question, to hopefully give some, what's up, RJ? To give some encouragement, I had to scrap my plan in my ideology of what I wanted you to be and how I wanted you to be. I wanted you to fit in
what
this
you
box.
fantasize marriage to be.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And you had to scrap it too. So on this side, it's beautiful. On this side, we can share our failures and.
Yeah, I had to give up what I thought my dream was, to be honest.
What was your dream?
But it was really out of pain, and it was really like out of the toxic environment that I came out of. I never wanted to be married, y'all. I never thought I was gonna have kids. I was gonna be that rich auntie, okay? Like, I'm about to travel this world and make some money. And baby, if you need something, hit that phone, and I'm about to hit that Cash App. What you need? I got you.
Right, you just gonna have dollars.
That was really all.
All right.
But this has been an amazing and a beautiful journey with you. So I'm really thankful that I've gotten to do it with you.
Me too. Yeah. So we closing. Brandon said the other day, I quoted it wrong. He said, "You guys have conquered," and I don't know about conquered, but he said, "You and Brittany have moved through the top 3 most difficult aspects of relationships: communication, money, and sex."
Yeah, we talked and deal with it all.
And those 3 topics have been hell on our head down through these years. But I love to talk about it, all 3 of them. Okay, let's see. What would you do if your spouse was not willing to make the necessary changes to keep you? I'm going to let you answer that one as we close.
I have a very direct personality that I don't think that you guys get to see all the time.
Let them see it tonight.
Clippage.
Show them your moves, Justin.
But baby, I'd be out of here.
All right. Just that simple.
No, seriously. If you are doing the work as an individual to correct the things that you know are off with you, and you've made your partner aware, because me and him went through this specifically. We was at dinner and I said, I was telling God on you.
I ain't gonna get the mic for this.
And God said, have you done what I've asked you to do? And the answer was no. And so I told him, I'm going to do everything that God has asked me to do. And when I have done those things, if you still have not changed, I will be leaving.
Wow.
I didn't give him a list of what he needed to do, because real change happens on the inside. You don't need somebody to tell you A, B, C, and D if you're really trying to change. And I didn't want him conforming to what he thought that I wanted or what he thought I needed. I wanted a genuine change, because if not, we wouldn't have what we got today.
When we left that restaurant, you were singing that song by Mary. I got to get myself together because I got something to go.
Listen.
And I'm praying. So
I didn't want God to tell me to go back. I didn't. That was my biggest fear, was me leaving him and God saying, you need to go back.
Because when you
I was going to be sick.
Let me shake your shoulders on this. Because when you do what you are supposed to do, when you are in it, whatever it is, when you get ready to make the decision to leave, if it comes to that, you don't have to have sleepless nights and when the thunder roars, you're afraid, because you did.
I was going to be nice and cozy in my bed.
Now, you know who was going to be sick? I was the one that was going to be sick, because I let a good one get away.
He was going to be sick.
Cute in the face and thick in the...
And he got that revelation on his own.
Okay.
It didn't take me giving him a list of things to do and change. He came to that on his own, which made us reuniting beautiful.
So that's the story. Questions closed. Inbox me.
No. Does anybody else have a question? Don't be trying to shut them down.
I'm sorry.
Are there any more questions?
The hours far spent. She said, "Thank you, Brittany."
Anytime.
Speak, sis. I knew Kiki was going. I already knew you was going. I knew you was coming.
I love you, girl.
They don't play. I got some people on my page that do not.
That's right.
These are some people that are in the comments that really, I know for a fact, have that love hard. Mm-hmm. But when when a person says, "I've had enough,"
right. And when I told him that, I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I didn't raise my voice, I wasn't disrespectful, but I wanted him to know where I was, because I didn't want him to say, I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me?
And, okay, this is the last point. Let's see if we got questions. When somebody's hollering and yelling and they just throw all the clothes out on the front lawn.
They not done.
They
not
still
done.
Want you. That's too much passion. Let me tell you what they miss. If it's that's what they miss.
Oh Lord,
they miss this right here. When they're getting a need met, and that person won't do right, it just the wires just go, and they just
that video, you know,
yeah, the Medicans.
You're the reason why I'm crazy.
You're the reason why I'm crazy. He didn't hammer me down. When a person has really gotten something that's quality and it's threatened, like they crash out.
Yeah.
But when a person is calm, they can be diplomatic.
Be it resolved.
That's my statement. I need to get a shirt.
Resolved.
Susan, I need to get me a shirt that says "Be it resolved." When a person has really settled the fact and there's no emotionalness to it, they're not irate. They have thought about it, they've prayed about it, and they've talked to the therapist. They can sit down with that individual and say, you know what, ma'am, sir, family, whoever it is, co-workers, I'm putting my 2-week notice in. I will no longer be sliding on the slide. The slide is closed. And they can sleep at night and there's no argument. You know why? Because they didn't settle it.
And can I say this? I didn't love him less when I said that. I still wanted my relationship to work. I still wanted us to be okay. I just wasn't going to repeat what I watched my mom do. I just wasn't.
Now this was like year 4?
I think it was
early
3.
in the game. Yeah, about 3.
3.5.
You said it early.
Because I was sure about it. I said, now, baby, I done already gave up my dream of being a rich auntie, and I'm in this marriage, so we're going to have to make something work, because this ain't it.
Now, she had some work to continue to do,
I
but
did. I had work,
concerning
too.
some bull, she was like, nah, I know I got some work to do, but I ain't putting up with that. Nah. You find get somebody else to do it.
Change, I got empathy, I got grace, I got mercy. But if you just going to sit in your foolishness and you expect me to sit in it with you, absolutely not.
Kiki said they get scared when I'm calm and quiet.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
Exactly.
Okay. Mama J said offerings. The Cash App is on the screen. The Cash App is on the screen. But we appreciate you all for hanging out with us. This was good. We whatever you say live, ain't no edits on the live. So
this is true. If you guys want us to do more sessions live, please let us know. Inbox us. He making that face, but he love live.
I got to be on good behavior. I didn't say
He love live. He likes interacting with people.
2.0, that's right.
You love interacting with people in real time.
I just want to make sure I didn't say nothing,
Just be you.
I was behaved tonight. Maybe next time I'll give y'all a little more.
Until you pull that hammer out.
Oh, yeah. Y'all want to see it?
Him and his props is so hilarious, but this is really like how his mind works.
Hammer time.
This is what he be saying in his mind. And then you saw MC Hammer doing the hammer time.
It's hammer time.
with the blousey pants. He saw him like.
I did, with the lines on the side. Marcus, that was before your time. Too legit.
Too legit to quit. Hey.
I had that song on tape.
I can see it though. I can see it.
That's how old I am. I had that song, Too Legit to Quit, and then We Gotta Pray to Make It Today was on the other side of it. Was a single. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I had some cassettes too.
Sweat running all over my chest. Thank you. Talisha says she loves the rawness. We are probably about 50%. No, we probably got another 60%. Like
we're gonna have to do an after dark episode. Yeah. Go ahead and send your questions in.
We just cut the lights out.
Because we can really go as deep as y'all want us to go, but we just be concerned about the idea.
I got apostles and prophets and evangelists and the whole
I ain't worried about none of that.
I'm really trying to give y'all like.
If y'all want the raw, just let us know.
I'm just saying. I really be trying to take them slow. I don't want to offend nobody.
It's the pastoral grace.
But I'm unfiltered.
Yeah.
You need to get an N95 mask if we do after dark episode, because y'all. I can't believe I said it. I did it. So anyway, it's cool over here. We in the kitchen tonight. John, you have no. I have none. And I think it's getting worse, and I love it.
It's not.
I love it.
It's good.
So follow us on One Church 3 Location. One Church 3 Location. Instagram, the Marriages for Grown Folks page, YouTube, and Facebook. We've got some things that are in the works for those couples that are in the greater Tulsa area, and some things that are for those of you who are in surrounding states and all over. So shout out to everybody. We appreciate the feedback. We appreciate the love. Make sure you hit the like button
And
share it before we get off of here.
And then subscribe to our YouTube
Subscribe.
page.
We're trying to get the word out. If this helped you, if this blessed you, if it made you laugh, if you take something that we said and have a conversation. This is one of the main reasons why we do this, is for you to initiate conversation with that person that you're with.
Right.
So we're trying to give you the game on the back end. How many? This year we celebrate 18 years. God. 18. Someone thought I was 30 today.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I've been married. I've been married.
That's the quickest way, though, for us to confuse people. When we tell them how long we've been married, they be like,
"That sounds crazy.
How old are you?" And I'll be like, "How old do you think I am?"
Yeah.
Come on, gas me up real quick. Gas me up.
Or if we get carded, we'll always ask them, first of all, before you serve me my drink, tell me how old you think. 25, 29.
Like, really, y'all? I'm like, thank the Lord. We
just
aging well.
Now give me that margarita. So the hammer almost came. All right, we love y'all. We got one thing we need to tell you before we log off and get some ice cream. Marriage
is
for grown folks.
For grown folks.
Peace.